Gorgeous day. So, Ingathering, it's our first Sunday back, starting a regular church year. It's like the school year starts in September, post-Labor Day, and UU Holton, we start our new cycle, and the Ingathering is part of that tradition. So, bulletins are now back after summer. Our summer stretch. We saved paper and ink this summer, so you can follow along in today's service. If you don't have one, we can get one to you, but I think Dan covered most of you guys. Okay, great. So a new tradition has returned to UU Holton. The wind chime was always a part of Ingathering years ago, and Fred and Lee Griffith. This hangs on their front porch on Court Street, and we borrow it to start off the church year. And I don't know how long it's been, Fred. It's certainly pre-COVID and a little longer. So the chime is back, and in the Ingathering service, we're honoring the 4 elements today, air being one of them. So with the wind chime, you can actually hear the air or movement. So, Nancy, since you're the closest, could you just give a little swipe to the bottom of the wind chime so we can hear it this morning? Oh. And do it again, Nancy. Even louder. And again. So we have a fan behind it. We're hoping it will catch a little bit of a breeze during the service. But anyone walking by during the service, feel free to just tap the wind chime. Yeah, it's a very small hook. Do not stand under the wind chime. It's nice to have Dale Holden with us this morning, playing the organ today for Ingathering service. This is always a treat, Dale. And we've done some more work on the organ this summer, so it's sounding amazing. Our prelude this morning is Water Music, Fanfare from Water Music by Handel. there is a small bouquet of wild blue asters on the altar today. These are placed on the sacred table with Reverend Martha Newman in mind, who served the Holton Church from 1995 to 2000. They were some of her favorite flowers this time of year. And I remember her saying to me, "Whenever I see the blue asters begin to appear, I know it's time for ingathering." So last week, as I was walking the woods, everywhere I glanced, the blue asters were prevalent. And I thought of Martha, thought of our ingathering service. So as we regather on this special day, may we not take such moments as these for granted. Each day is as unique as it is. So for our moment of centering silence this morning, may we breathe deeply, share this sacred space together, and be as one as we listen to the sound of the chime. And Nancy, we're also going to, you know what. So I'll do the singing bowl first, and then you. The ingathering service is an intriguing combination of a welcoming back party, a homecoming, historical reflection as we launch a new church year, and a regrounding with the natural world, and reconnecting with each other as we share our stories and participate in this ritual of water ceremony. Today's altar reflects this multitasking approach. On days like this, it's hard to fit everything on the altar. And we'll explain as the service goes on. Opening words are from Wendell Berry from his essay, Digging In. The human definition of the natural world is always going to be too small, because the world is more diverse and complex than we can ever know. We are not going to comprehend it. It comprehends us. Let us open ourselves to the immensity of nature and of our own soul on this day. And a prayer for ingathering. So once again, a return to the return. A new beginning in the same place we've been before, not knowing quite what will come next, but we are here just the same. Open, curious, hopeful, and eager to move ahead into the new place that we have just entered together. Amen. And let us move forward. For our chalice lighting this morning, Joshua, you and Teddy help us out as a team effort to light the chalice. And you'll find the chalice group reading in your bulletin, so be prepared. Shall we read together? Now
is the time for gathering in. We come together at this time in this place upon the bridge of God. Today we are together in gladness. Once more, the special community that we call our church, a community of all ages that sings its songs, tells its thoughts, asks its questions, and searches together with courage and with love.
Let us sing our opening hymn number 203, All Creatures of the Earth and Sky. And let us stand as you are able. Thank you, dear, for not holding back any of the stops this morning. So we are performing a historic function this morning as a congregation as we are opening our 213th year as a religious organization in this town. That's right, Ted. And believe it or not, I am starting my 23rd year here as minister of this august group. So this morning we gather to affirm our vision and commitment to a continuance of our sacred fellowship, friendships, and our work together. So on the altar, you'll see a picture of the original Unitarian meeting house built in 1837 up on North Road by F.A. Peabody. first choice real estate agency on old Putnam land that was gifted to the Unitarian Church, making it the first church structure of a Protestant variety north of Bangor in 1837. And there's also a list on that. It gives a brief, concise history. Bill has more of the details, and our website has a full history of First Church Holton and the Unitarian Church. But this little picture has a short version, as well as a listing of the first settled ministers of Holton Church in the 19th century. And over here, on the easel, this hangs in my office, and it's a collection of the Unitarian ministers of the 19th and early 20th century, up to 1919, I believe, of ministers, but very serious, well-dressed men. Martha Newman, we have photographs of every minister who served. I believe I am number 41. I could be wrong. Martha Newman was the only female woman called minister that served UU Holton. And fittingly enough, it's the largest picture and full color of Martha Newman, which seems so appropriate. And Dale served as minister of Congregational Church at the same time as Martha Newman was here at Holton. So, also in the archives, I went and found a couple of items. It's an amazing archive. This is a service of welcome to the church, a little booklet given to new members. A lot of sermon collections. This is a discourse on some of the distinguishing opinions of Unitarians delivered at Baltimore 1819 by Dr. William E. Channing. This was his Unitarian sermon that defined the Unitarian movement in 1819. There's also, from the Sunday school department, early Old Testament narratives, 36 lessons for the intermediate class. There's children's records over here, just amazing collection that Unitarians held on to. So those are on the altar if you'd like to peruse those after the service. I'd like to read a prayer by Reverend Martha Newman that she would read typically at the Ingathering service. Let us bless the wholeness of this church. Its walls hold our history, our tears, our loss, our fears, our sadness, our joys, our gladness, and our friendships. Our celebrations are held here. The coming and going of our feet and the feet of generations past will tell our story. Here we light a tiny flame of religious freedom and set apart this place and dedicate it to community worship that tells over and over again the story of human life. Reverend Martha Newman. I'm going to, actually, I wanted to show one more thing. Matt, I need your assistance to come down and help me. The history of First Church at Holton has two parts. Originally 1811, First Church at Holton. So Matt, you pick up that slide. So the two parts are Congregational Church, originally 1811, and then the Unitarians, 1837. We went two different directions. There were two first churches in Holton. And these are the historic signs that were on our building. This is kind of the style of the crest. It doubled as a sign, information of when the services were held, and this held on every time the Congregational Church moved, that sign went with them. In the same way here, with our crest. And my name was added in the year 2000 as ministry here. Church. Make sure you can see smiling faces. Pose for a picture. Anyone got a camera?
Yes.
Take a picture of this.
Dale, put Dale in there too.
Okay, yeah.
We need to add Dale to the picture.
Well, Dale is the retired minister.
Yeah.
That's good.
So we continue this amazing tradition of these two churches in a relationship of breakups, getting back together again, breaking up again, getting back together, and here we are continuing to tell the story here in Holton. With new people, the connections and the memories and photographs. And that's what the lawn party is about today, is continuing sharing of food, music, good times, new people, as the combination of people and values continues to evolve through the years. We're going to read together number 594, which is in the back of the great book. And this serves as it's a recommitment. You don't have to say this if you don't want to. But this does serve as a recovenanting process for people who share these values and are in this place. So it's a responsive reading. I will read the bold if you read the italicized. Principles and purposes for all of us. We affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person.
We believe that every person is important.
We affirm and promote justice, equity, and compassion in human relations.
We believe that all people should be treated fairly.
We affirm and promote acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth.
We believe that our churches are places where all people are separated and where we keep learning together.
We affirm and promote a free and responsible search for truth and meaning.
We believe that each person must be free to search for what is true and right in life.
We affirm and promote the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process.
We believe that all people should have a voice and vote about the things which concern them.
We affirm and promote a goal of world community with peace, with liberty, and with justice for all.
We believe that we should work for a peaceful, fair, and free world.
We affirm and promote respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part.
We believe that we should care for our planet Earth.
For our offertory this morning, you'll find a Hesla on the back table, a collection for local needs in our community and in our own congregation. The building fund jar is back there, and we're also going to circulate late. Dale is playing once again from Handel's Water Music. This is titled Air. We're really making Dale work hard to just getting her exercise between the organ and piano and back to the organ. So we're doing 2 anthems this morning. The second one is actually in the hymn book. If you'd like to follow along, it's number 126. It's a familiar tune from many church traditions. This would be the UU lyric version. Please follow along. And if you want to hum along quietly, you can even do that. We won't mind.
Streams of mercy never
UU Holton for over 20 years now. We've collected quite a variation of waters from across people's travels, across different hemispheres, across the world, that all circle back to these water ceremonies in the 1st of September. So I'm going to start off with a couple of readings. First one is by Starhawk. The earth is a living, conscious being, in company with cultures of many different times and places. We name these things as sacred: air, fire, water, earth. So we are as one with the world and nature. We are literally breathing sky, drinking the river, and eating of the earth. This essentially closes the gap between us and nature. We are not only in nature, we are nature. To be alive is to feel your own aliveness as you move through this marvelous world, color, aroma, and Cathal Gibran says, "In one drop of water are found all the secrets of the oceans. In one aspect of you are found all the aspects of existence." And from Henry David Thoreau, "Life in us is like the water flowing in a river." In this week's UU support page, I added a column, one of Mariah Popova's writings from Neil Dice, a scientist and Buddhist, called Notes on Complexity. So I encourage you, there's an amazing list of aspects exploring this connection between the distance between us, each other, the molecules, the planet, our food source, our planet and the cosmos. If you want to look at it that closely and break it down and follow it through, I'd encourage you to read that article by Tice. So what we're doing this morning is a water ceremony, and this ceremony reconnects us to that which is most essential and most basic to our own life in our own existence. So on the altar we have 4 elements present as part of our ceremony: earth, fire, air, and water. So for fire, we have our chalice, our flame. For earth, we have different stones on the altar this morning. This is from the Cave River in the back, and brought in a tourmaline from Black Mountain in western Maine up here on the altar. And there's some smaller chunks of it that were sliced off on the altar. Some black polished tourmaline, and this is a slice off one of those similar rocks from the quarry. And here's a piece of solid black. And if you look closely, you'll be able to see a few of the polished tourmalines right on the surface of that rock. So we include this in our water ceremony as the grounding, and some can feel, energy from these precious gems and stones, or walking on stones on a riverbed. Some can pull that energy of water flowing over stone and earth, and the air and the sky above us. So this morning, for air, we brought the chime in to hear movement. And I'm going to light the stick of incense just briefly, again, where you can smell what's carried on the air. We cannot see air, but it is all around us and it carries life essence. And the main element of the water ceremony is water. In the bowl, there are more stones from our collection from previous water ceremonies. If you look closely, there's a rock from the top of Mount Katahdin, Walden Pond, a quarry bill that we hiked over on the mountain, Marley Mountain Quarry, granite, built from our church foundation. There's volcanic rock from Hawaii. There's stones from Newfoundland and tourmaline from Western Canada. So this is our holy, Unitarian holy water from last year's ceremony. We use this in our flower communion to bless flowers, to bless new members. Children's blessing this year with Teddy got a sprinkle of this. We had 2 baptisms this year, and we sprinkled them as well. Fount from the Congregational Reading. So we're adding this to our communion water bowl this morning as our starter water for this year's ceremony. And yes, this is a Coca-Cola recyclable water. So how this ritual works is we share, for those of you who brought water today, that is meaningful and special to you, from travels, sacred spots, common water. Whatever the story is behind, come up, pour a little bit or all of it into our water basin communion bowl, and briefly tell the story behind it. And we're going to continue to share our stories of our life together with these waters. We also have virtual water. If you didn't bring a sample, we have a picture here that you are free to use. Holton Water Company. It's an amazing product. It can become anything. With these blessings, it becomes anything that your words describe and the journey you take us on.
Tested and certified.
We haven't had it tested yet. So that's how this ceremony works. We're going to take time to do this, at least till 11:15 if we need to share our stories. And then the service will close immediately after the water ceremony sharing. So, let us begin.
We're new to the church, but, well, kind of new.
You know what? I'm going to bring the mic.
I think you need a microphone of my voice. We're working on a camp down at Scott River right now, and it's a beautiful day. Lincoln down last weekend. Enjoy the river, but a lot of you people don't know that I'm a water plant operator from way back. So just besides just this being a sample of Penobscot River water, the water that we have, none of it is new. It's been here forever. So this water has been everywhere that I collected from Penobscot River.
Yes.
It's ours.
So for a blessing this morning, when someone is completed, we go, oh ha is our blessing.
Oh ha.
Oh ha.
This water is from Sedgefield Springs, which is right beside our house. And we've enjoyed the spring and the pond all summer, and so have our ducks.
Oh ha.
there goes into the Hudchinson Cake, and the Hudchinson Cake goes into the St. Johns River, goes into the ocean, goes to Germany, England, and everywhere. So this is really, really important water. A few weeks ago, I told you about a journey I took down the St. Johns River and back up. That was, to some respect, it changed my life a little bit. That's important to you and to Donna. Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
This past summer, our daughters came up and got Jim and me, and we went down to the Brunswick area, and we went out to Orrs and Bailey Island. Some of you know, have heard of Esther Orr Island, that was her family. So, and Land's End, this is salt water from the beautiful place where we saw salt water for the first time in many years. And I'm going to describe it. This is for Jim Cochran, Jim and me. We had a wonderful invite to Jim's camp on East Rand last Wednesday. We sat on his deck, heard booms, felt the breeze and the water, all of the elements, even a little bit of smog from the Canadian fire, so we have fire. So a little bit of East Rand water. Thank you, Jim.
Oh, wow.
And he transported us both ways.
Hello, everybody. We're new here, and we decided to come up there now. So we're going to do this. This is water that we brought with us from our trip. We started in Tampa, Florida, and just collected it along the way, all the way to our new home that we purchased here in Bolton to be with you guys. So this is our next spot. It has been charged with our crystals of love and elder moonlight, and we're just going to add it in here. Thank you.
Oha!
Wow.
I just poured water from the patent water companies, whatever they are, our little town water. And just the preciousness of having water in your home.
Oha!
So this morning, I took this little clay vessel. It was always on my grandmother Isadora's table when we would have anything like fiddleheads that required vinegar. I took Buster, my dog, to the Hudchinson Cake and scooped up some water in this little clay vessel. And it's significant for me that the Hudchinson Cake starts here but flows through my hometown of Woodstock, where it meets the mighty St. John River, which if you attend an event in Woodstock, I hope you all know there's many wonderful concerts and gatherings in Woodstock. They always begin with words acknowledging that the event is taking place on the unceded and unsurrendered territory of the Woolastrip, which is the original name of the great St. John River. So this water flows from here into the St. John River in my home province of New Brunswick.
I have virtual water from Oakfield because of property I bought there this summer. We're still in summer, a couple more weeks. But we're digging for water because the pump had cracked, the pipe had cracked, and well, we're 9 feet down digging with the back, and we're only reached 6. So virtual from Oakfield until we get real.
Then everybody's invited for tea.
Aloha.
Some more New Brunswick water, and this is from a pond in Limestone, New Brunswick. And it comes from the spring and it goes into the Eel River and to St. John and out to the ocean.
Oha!
Aloha.
I have a borrowed vessel and borrowed water. It's not mine. And yet I can still experience everything in the ceremony with such intensity because of the gift of being here and available as a resource. Thank you for the water.
Oha!
I have not traveled this summer, so let this water represent my home environment. It's water from the dehumidifier that runs in my basement.
Excellent.
Aloha.
Oha! Oha!
Aloha.
Going to use some of the virtual water here also.
Virtual water for not just being at home, but for the first time in many years, I have now been over the border 3 times. And first and foremost, I think, was to go to the Beaverbrook Gallery in Fredericton, and it was wonderful. Thanks for the transportation, Josh.
Oha!
I'm going to use virtual water as well. I just want to put some healing blessings in this water for anyone with physical, mental, or spiritual pain.
Oha!
Aloha.
Linda really wanted to be here today. We have company from downstate spending the weekend with us, so she's home preparing for that. But I did bring water from Newfoundland from our amazing trip. And I add that to salt water. But like Christoph said, and so many of us, the origins. I was sitting by the river one day after coming back from Newfoundland, and the water, number 9 lake, the source of the North Branch of Hutchinson Cave, flowing right by our homestead, flowing into New Brunswick, Jackson Falls, and joining the South Branch from Bolton at Jackson Falls in New Brunswick, and then through joining the St. John in Woodstock, and emptying into the Atlantic Ocean. And it's the first time I ever made that connection, Christoph, for water from my place all the way to St. John's in Newfoundland. And I bring it back to our Ingathering, just a small few molecules of it back to our Ingathering service today.
Oh, how.
Anyone else? We have room in our bowl. Okay, if you look at your bulletin, we have one more job to coordinate as a group congregation this morning. I'm going to bless these waters that we have shared this morning and added to the communion bowl. And after the blessing, there's a congregational response, which needs to be read with gusto, enthusiasm, and high calm. So be ready.
This is what we need to take.
Bless these waters, holy and sacred, that we have poured from our life experience, our travels, our stories, our humorous moments, our hopes, and our struggles.
As these waters have blended to become one water,
May our lives live together in this place, become a shared experience of the soul.
And now may we go in peace, grounded in that which is essential, in balance and in harmony with all the world and all that we are. Amen.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. If you'd like to show your support, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribed, and help us out by sharing this message by clicking the share button. If you'd like to make a monetary donation to the UU Church Houlton, there is a link to our online donations in the video description down below. And again, thank you so much and have a blessed day.